So my name is Dan Sudrin. I'm Executive Director, Founder, and Teacher at Mission Science. So I'm overall the sort of the boss man, but also I relish more just being the general helper and busybody around here. And I also build exhibits, I develop curriculum, I train staff, pretty much try to be jack of all trades. I would never be a good principal or a traditional educational administrator because I like getting into stuff, and that's what keeps my juices flowing.
Speaking of keeping your juices flowing, how did you get into making the Mission Science Workshop?
I went to college in Chicago at the University of Chicago. I majored in history. I became a lawyer during the Vietnam era, and I worked in sort of what we call social justice law. I worked with poor Hispanic farm workers. I was assigned to a VISTA program in Idaho in 1966. I worked there, and I got involved with the Farm Workers Union with Cesar Chavez in the late 60s, and came on board as an organizer, where I was organizing along with Chavez and other leaders of the union into the 70s, which lasted a while, but then I sort of burned out on that a bit and came back to San Francisco, knew that I didn't want to be a lawyer, and I got interested in technology. At the end, technology was not computers, it was actually fixing TVs. And I realized what an amazing thing a television is. I mean, just the fact that this information all flows through the air, electromagnetically and so on and so forth. So I got, I got the bug, and I just was like, man, this is the coolest stuff. And I didn't go back to get a degree, but I just became my own teacher, and I found people to teach me. Exploratorium people helped me. And it finally ended up with this idea of having a community science workshop in my neighborhood. Most of the kids were pretty low-income Hispanic immigrant kids, and they never went to Exploratorium, they never went to academies. So I said, well, let's just have one in the neighborhood. So I started one in my garage. And then, of course, I realized that was going to be the end of my personal life once I had that, because they would all be waiting for me when I came home from work, and I had to show them stuff. So luckily, City College gave me a space in City College at the Mission campus, and that was 1991, and that was we celebrated our 25th anniversary 3 years ago in 2015 or 16, whenever it was. At any rate, that's sort of that story in a quick sketch.
What does it mean to you to give back to your community and hosting such a small but yet very impactful science workshop in the Mission District?
Well, it's very exciting to see how excited the kids are, and for me it translates into their lives could be quite different from what they would be without places like this, where they often, they have this curiosity when they're young, they lose the curiosity, and like a lot of us have, and I feel like that you lose more than curiosity when you lose curiosity. You lose sort of some of your spirit, some of your soul. So I like to think what we do is really soulful science. And it's going to serve the kids whether or not they become scientists. They're going to have a love of their lives and of the world, regardless of what they end up doing. On Mission Street, we have this workshop. We also have one in Mission High School. They're both full-time workshops. So we work actually probably overtime. Our free open times are second and third Saturdays of the month from 10 to 3. And every Monday from 3 to 5 at this workshop, every Wednesday from 3 to 5 at the other workshop. During the week, we see school groups from 9 to 5 on field trips and after school. But like this time, anybody can come in from anywhere, any age, any situation. It's completely open, it's completely free. And those are those times I mentioned with the second and third Saturday and the Mondays and Wednesdays after school.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dan.